Hey guys, it's jackpunkington here. Today we are checking out the Ashen Glow. It is a full-length album by a Rueful Noise, a really cool three-piece band from Lansing, Michigan. They kind of fit into multiple camps. On their Bandcamp here, they've got themselves listed as just rock, alternative rock, indie gloom rock, which I think is a really cool description of what fits a good chunk of their sound. And I also feel like they kind of fit into groove, not quite groove metal, but like groove rock. A lot of their songs on this album have like groove metal undertones. It's just like super like sludge jammy, but it's less sludgy, more just cleaned up, but it has that feel to it. And one thing about this album, it's a vibey album. And what I mean by that is you have a wide range of sounds and songs. The Big Lake, it's actually a really cool thing. The first two songs are a really good representation of how versatile this album actually can be. You start off with The Big Lake, which is a very indie rock song. It has, not like a sad girl vibe to it, but it has that indie vibe to it. And then you go to Winter Dream, which is very like jammy. It has, almost like a Sabbath-y like guitar style to it. But it's really interesting because it still fits within that indie like kind of gothic sound. So we've got Jennifer on bass and vocals, Nicholas is guitar and vocals, and then Todd is their drummer. They are some of the coolest people. I was fortunate enough that As Your Attorney's last show was actually playing with them and Escape Plan up in Oscoda, and just meeting them, I could tell like they were super nice people. They were very welcoming. We talked for a little bit, not too much, but a week later, they actually played a show at the Avenue in Lansing with No Skull, another band that I'm really fond of. And I was talking to No Skull before the show because I wanted to buy a t-shirt, and they actually, unfortunately, didn't have any in my size. But the drummer came running up from a Rueful Noise, put his hand like right on my back. He's like, "Hey, buddy." He's like, "What are you doing here?" It was so cool. I felt welcomed to talk to them and stuff. When I actually bought a shirt from them, and they gave me it was a really cool deal. Like you buy a shirt and you pay like so much money, and you also get a little 7-inch vinyl of their first EP. I'm probably saying the dimensions wrong, and I have it, and it's really cool. And their first EP was which was Let the Rivals Begin, which came out in August of 2022. That was more indie goth. This is a little bit heavier, and I really dig it. And yeah, so the first single that came out, the only single that came out for this album, which I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with, just having one single. It was The Big Lake, which is the first song. And I think that's actually like a really cool idea. Have the song that you have as the single be one of the first songs, just so that way, all right, here's the song you've all heard, here's the rest of this album which you haven't heard yet, and it's so good. In my last review of a band's album, which was the self-titled album from Middle Out, I said that their music belongs in a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. I really feel like a Rueful Noises album belongs in like a indie Life is Strange type of game. It's actually probably my favorite game series. So when I was listening to this album, I was like, man, I should just go play Life is Strange. It has that vibe of, just trying to figure out who you are. And that's nothing like saying like the album doesn't know or the band doesn't know who they are, but it has that vibe of like, who am I? What am I going through in my life that I'm trying to discover who I am? And the music that I'm listening to is helping me through this process. And yeah, again, guys, you knocked out of the park. It sounds so cool. I love the artwork too. The artwork is like this cool turtle or tortoise, and I can't super tell. I'm not really good at like picking them. Be like, oh, it's this, with like this green background, which is really cool because their first EP was just like their symbol kind of a thing, which it's actually, I want to get their symbol tattooed because I really liked it. Well, and it's like a kind of burgundy-ish, kind of like a light burgundy-ish kind of color, more purple. And this is like very foresty green. I like that they kind of have a vibe with, so far, these two albums, of what can we encompass with this color into the album. Because with the jamier songs, they feel more earthy. Excuse me. They feel more earthy. They feel like, they've vibing with the color green. It's a weird way to say it, but if you listen to the album, you'll kind of understand what I mean. If you listen to their first EP, that actually really kind of fits the color scheme of a purple burgundy-ish color that fits like that dark gothic feel. This has, a little bit of gothic mixed into it, but it's very like jammy, and it fits the color green. It's a weird way to like talk about it, but that is kind of how I feel like it makes sense. Go listen to the album. You listen to the album, and then you look at the album color, and be like, yeah, it fits the color green really well. So, anyway, thank you all for checking out this album. These guys are really talented musicians and deserve all the praise. Like, go listen to this album. Go listen to their first album. Buy both. Support the artist. Go see a show. They put on an amazing live show. And it's really interesting because a lot of local bands, they have half stacks. I use a half stack. I have a 1x12 combo that I keep for a backup, which is actually right here behind me. But I have a half stack. Their guitar player uses a 1x12 cab and uses, I think it's a Mesa. It's either a Mesa Mark IV or it's like a Mesa dual caliber, like 3 or 4. I'm not entirely sure. I thought it was really cool because like I had just gotten my last Mesa when I saw them, and I talked to him about it. And he also uses like a Starcaster, a Fender Starcaster, I think. And you don't really, I mean, they're out there, but I feel like they don't get seen that often. And it's really cool just to be like, yeah, that kind of fits this band. It's vibey in itself as a guitar, and it fits the whole vibey thing. Plus, I don't know. I love the whole aesthetic. Go check them out. They're great people. They make great music, and they deserve your time. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for coming and checking out this album review. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It'd be great to see you. And just have a good day. Jack Punkington signing out. Peace, everyone.